SKAdNetwork versus AEM. Can you quickly describe the difference between the two so the audience also understands what we are talking about? So AEM as an aggregated event measurement is Meta's probabilistic on-platform solution. So they attribute traffic basically based on fingerprinting. They don't call it fingerprinting. There's no documentation on it. But in the end, you are passing identifiers through the Meta SDK like user agent, IP, and then Meta tries to match back that user to the people they've seen on their platform. It has been getting better over the recent years, and by now, most of the accounts I see are using that kind of attribution just because it takes away some of the pains of SKAdNetwork. SKAN is Apple's solution. It's deterministic. Apple is the one actually sending out the attribution postbacks telling people who converted, but it's aggregated. It has a postback delay. There's privacy thresholds, meaning if you don't reach certain traffic volumes, then you don't get a postback, and hence discrepancies to what's actually happening tend to be quite high. Like 40-50% is pretty usual due to these limitations. And therefore AEM is just favored by most of the people because it comes in immediately, and it tends to be also more accurate if you set it up properly. There is a lot of wiggle room in what is properly. So I've been digging into that a lot lately with advertisers looking into like how are their SDK events actually triggered, which third parties are involved, like is the code like clean. I'm not a coder, I don't look at the code, but I tell them, hey, can this be simplified? And oftentimes telling them simplify this already leads to kind of better attribution, because if there's a lot of logic involved saying, hey, first this needs to happen, then we look at this, and only then the event is triggered, that often means events aren't triggered, or Meta at that point isn't able to access the relevant identifiers kind of in the time frame that they need them in. So there's wiggle room, but mostly AEM will attribute better than SKAN out of the box, and that's why it's used a lot in the accounts I'm seeing, and it's also performant.